Hello folks, this is Johnny again, and welcome to my review of Mecuriall's latest amp simulation plugin, Reaxis. Now, I can talk a whole lot about this thing, but why don't we just listen to a little demo song I made? Now, as we could hear, as always, Mecuriall makes some very solid stuff. That just sounded great. So let's talk about the plugin a little bit. Now, Reaxis emulates the Mesa Boogie Tri-Axis amplifier, which is a preamp that incorporates 3 different preamps from, I think, different Mark series amps or whatever. Anyways, here you see the 3 different preamps: rhythm with 2 channels, lead 1 with 3 channels, and lead 2 with another 3 channels. So that gives you a total of 8 channels, actually. And as you could hear, you can get sparkly stuff all the way to modern high gain stuff, and in between also some bluesy stuff or some very nasty sludge tones, whatever you want to do. This thing is very versatile. I really like it. Now with the EQ section, what you should probably know, this acts more like a pre-EQ instead of a post-EQ. So those extreme settings I have here for my rhythm tone are not for tone shaping, but for distortion shaping. So amp-wise, this thing is great. There's just nothing to complain about, in my opinion. Otherwise, we have a lot of stuff again that's pretty typical for Mecuriall, I'd say. Stuff we already know, and some new stuff like the noise gate we have in here now. It does its job, I'd say. The wah pedal sounds very good in my opinion. I really like using it for the solo. And also 3 different distortion or booster pedals. Also stuff that we already know from Mecuriall. It all works great. It sounds great. Nothing to complain about here. The cab section we also already know from Mecuriall. And it sounds great. As again, what can you say? It's just it's awesome. I guess one thing that I'm kind of missing from the cab section in here is when you use 2 mics and you put them at different distances from the cab, you don't really hear that phase shift happening. I guess they made it in a way that the 2 mics are just, the sound of them are always in phase. So there's a level of tweakability that I personally would appreciate to have, but it's not really, it's not a kill point at all. This still sounds amazing for what it does. Now, the original tri-axis amp is only a preamp, but Mecuriall still added this power amp section here with 3 different tubes that give you another level of coloring and saturation, and they do make a difference. Then here in the post-FX section, again, stuff that we already know from Mecuriall. The chorus, that sounds great. The reverb does its job, and also a delay that does its job. Personally, if I would go for an actual full-on mix, I wouldn't really go for this reverb and delay. I'd go for other stuff that I like more. But for what this is, they sound great. Also, in this demo, I only used this reverb and delay. So I guess bottom line, you really can't go wrong with this plugin. It sounds really great. Mecuriall has been putting out quality stuff now, one after the other. But so far, I guess this one is my personal favorite, just because it has that kind of Mesa Boogie vibe that I really, really like. Now, on a personal note, I think for myself as a user, it would make sense for Mecuriall to actually build their own amp plugin suite that has everything in it. The amps and the effects and the caps, because right now with each amp that you buy, they incorporate the effects again into that plugin, as well as the cap again into that plugin. I think it would make more sense to have a suite, so you can just have everything in there and do however you want it, like with any other amp simulation software. But I guess that's a thing for Mecuriall to decide and see how they want to go on. In any case, I'm looking forward to what else they come up with. That they have been putting out some very quality stuff. Make sure to check them out. And that's it from my side for this plugin. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment below, whatever, you know, the whole shebang. Just I'll see you next time.